Hey, good day, folks. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I just want to make a quick disclaimer here. Now, I will admit I've driven through some of these areas multiple times, uh, by accident. So if you don't want to see repeats of the same streets I've driven around, go ahead and fast forward the video to around, I would say, the 5 minute mark. And at that point, that's when the actual video will start, and that's when I will share all the commentary as well as the topic of discussion on this particular video today. You know what? We're going to go ahead and have a discussion right now because what I want to talk about might take I don't know how long it's going to take for me to say what I got to say. But just to allow myself a little extra time, we're going to start right now. But like I said, if you don't really give two craps about what I have to say, and all you want to see is the actual town, then fast forward to the 5 minute mark. But if you want to know in full what I'm going to be discussing, then we're going to have this discussion now. But before we do, let's get all the housekeeping out of the way. Now, obviously, I am driving around New Paris, Indiana, which is located in which is located in northern Indiana. So welcome to another overcast, cloudy, cold day here in Indiana. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. So let's keep going here. So New Paris is located 6 miles south of Goshen off of Indiana 15. And if you travel the other way on 15, if you travel the other way 18 miles north of here, will be Warsaw. And it's also 20 minutes southeast of Elkhart. And for larger cities, it's 35 miles southeast of South Bend and 54 miles northwest of Fort Wayne, Indiana. So those are just some of the larger cities that are within, I'll just say, 60 miles of here. Just in case you need to go to one of those areas for either entertainment or maybe you have other needs you gotta address that you may not be able to have here in New Paris, given that it's such a small community. So the population here is currently at 1,587 people. And in the population back in 2010 used to be 1,494 people. And that's all I have for the population, because typically when I look up where I typically go to look up demographics, and I'm probably going to try a new source of my demographics. But for this particular video, I used Wikipedia for population demographics, and they didn't have anything recorded prior to the 2010 census. And the racial demographics are going to be 84.2% white, 15.2% Hispanic. And after you see this video, if you desire to live here in New Paris, your median rent prices are going to go from $750 to $1,340 a month. The median price of a home is going to be a whopping $254,000. Now, and I will be completely honest with you folks, I am completely surprised that the median house prices here in many of these northern Indiana small towns are so expensive, in my humble opinion. Now, some of you might feel offended that I say that, but it is what it is. Now, for me personally, I would not want to pay that kind of money for housing and then be stuck up here in northern Indiana. I'm not saying northern Indiana is a bad place to live. I know for many people it's the right fit. It's safe, it's quiet. You're close to many larger communities. But if I were to pay that kind of money for housing, I would want somewhere a little warmer. Now, granted, anymore, that's no longer going to be enough money for me to move to Florida. But, there's other places in the South where I can move for that kind of money. I might have to do a little bit of searching, but for that kind of money, you can bet your ass I'll be doing some searching. I mean, there's as many of you guys realize, there's many places in Indiana where housing prices are far cheaper, and the climate is gonna be a little better. Not so many cloudy days, and the temperatures are gonna even be a few degrees warmer, such as in many parts of mid and southern Indiana. So again, I'm not talking down about northern Indiana. I'm just giving my 2 cents. I just think 250 some grand for a house up here is a little ridiculous. But, I mean, some people would say that housing prices are going to start to decrease a little bit due to the current state of this economy and mortgage rates being so high and all that good stuff. And I hope prices do come down. They need to, especially up here. Okay, so now that we got all that out of the way, the topic I want to briefly have a discussion about is happiness. Now, I've been traveling the country for, I would say, most of my adult life. Although I've only had my YouTube channel for a couple of years, I've been traveling the country for most of my adult life. Now, I will say that the majority of those travels have been in the middle of the country. Like off of Interstate 65, and then also off of Interstate 71 and 75. Now, I remember when I first started traveling around, back when I was in my early 20s, I do not remember, even 10 years ago, even during the last recession, back in the late 2000s and into the early 2010s. I don't remember people driving as fast or as aggressive as people are driving today. Yeah, you had some people that drove like straight idiots back in the day. But as far as people driving aggressive to where they're like practically riding your bumper, even though you're going 10 to 15 miles above the speed limit, maybe I got a bad memory. I don't know. But I don't remember people driving as aggressively as they drive today. Because like today, I was just running chores. I was on my way to the store to do some grocery shopping. And there was this individual that was just, I was going at least 10 miles over the speed limit, remind you. And there was a car in front of me. And I wasn't even on a major freeway. And there was this truck behind me that, he was like practically on my bumper. Like if I would have had to make a sudden stop, there would have been an accident, and there's a good chance that the bumper of his truck would have met the back in my car window. Because that's how close he was to me. Now, it seems like nowadays people just appear to be more miserable than ever before. At least ever before in my adult life. I'll just put it like that. Now, I thought about doing some research about how miserable people are today versus how miserable people were in the past. I still might do a video, I don't know. But without doing any data, I'm going to just go ahead and say that people today appear to be significantly more miserable than in the past. Now, granted, we got this crazy thing called a recession going on, which, as I've said before, this ain't the first recession we've had as a country, and it sure the hell ain't going to be the last. And then, of course, now that with social media, you got certain people that probably should not be watching certain social media channels, because when they do, it makes them feel some kind of way. And when they feel a certain way, they tend to do things that are crazy, because you got folks, unfortunately, that are mentally imbalanced. And rather than watching certain social media channels, they should probably check into a therapist and get the help that they truly need. So you got that going on. And then you have a lot of people, namely on social media, that, whatever issues that are going on, they'll blame this person, they'll blame that person, they'll blame a certain race, they'll blame the opposite sex, as opposed to looking in the mirror and taking responsibility for why it is that they're in the position that they're in. Now, sometimes bad things happen. It is what it is, and it's beyond one's control, such as someone getting severely sick, or someone having a heart attack, or someone going to a doctor and it's been discovered that they got cancer. Now, for those of you that are going through that, I'm not talking to you people in terms of accepting self-responsibility for your life. Now, for those that are working a job that you may not like, maybe you're living somewhere you don't like, your life is just not how you planned it out to be, you're miserable for whatever reason, those are the people I'm talking to on this particular video, on this particular topic. I mean, basically, and I'm probably going to title the video this, happiness is in the beholder. And what I mean by that is happiness is in the beholder of the individual. So when you wake up every day, it is 100% up to you, in most cases at least, on rather or rather not, you want to be happy. Now, if you choose to be happy, does it mean everything's going to fall in place and everything's going to be rainbows under the sky? Unfortunately, no. You're going to still have messed up days. Messed up things are going to still happen in the universe. Messed up things can even happen to you, and it might happen to you. But I would say, speaking in general, it is up to you, the person in the mirror, to be happy. So whatever situation you're in that makes you less than happy, that makes your life less than desirable, it's up to you to take the proper measures to get yourself out of that situation and into a situation that's better. Now, depending on what that situation or situations may be, it might be easy to get out of. It might take several steps. It might take a lot of planning, and it might take some money, sometimes quite a bit of it. Or sometimes you might have to be realistic with yourself, and maybe you can put yourself in a situation to where you have everything you need, you're being responsible, but at the same time, you're happier than you were before. Which is the situation that I'm in, to be quite frank. Because you don't want to focus on happiness and not pay any mind to reality. You want to have it to where, yes, you're focusing on your happiness, because part of being healthy is being happy. But you also want to focus on reality. Like, you might be happy. I mean, some of you might be happy getting up and drinking a beer, eating potato chips, and watching TV all day. But for most of you, that's not going to be a life you're going to be able to live, because not only is it unhealthy, but if you're not bringing in no money, you're going to ultimately lose the roof over your head, and you won't have no money to drink your beer or to eat your chips because you don't have no income. So yeah, happiness is in the beholder of I forgot how I said it before. Happiness is in the beholder of the individual. I forgot how I said it. Sorry. At the end of the day, it's really up to you to be happy. I mean, one thing which I've learned over the years is nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, can make you happier than yourself. If you walk around pissed off all the time, people are going to see it, and for those who are happy, they're going to most likely stay away from you, because if you look like you're pissed off, then they're going to be like, okay, well, let me stay away from this person, because this person might go off and do something crazy, and I'm not trying to have any part of it. Or two, they don't want your energy to bring them down, so as a result, they're just not going to deal with you, which would be the right thing for that person to do. So, let's see what else. So, here's what I want you guys to do for me, and really for anyone that's watching this particular video. If you ever had a time in your life to where you were unhappy, what was it about, and what did you do to make your situation better? So for those of you that are comfortable enough to put that type of information in the comment section, I would appreciate it. And maybe if I get enough comments that are interesting, I might come back with another video reading off those comments. Alright folks, I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to check you guys later. Hopefully you guys got something out of this commentary, and on that note, stay blessed. And I'll catch you on the next one.